KWT slaying.
Salama family, salama. How y'all doing today? Hope you're blessed and highly favored. Shabbat shalom, everybody. So, before I get started, I know some people want me to comment on the whole thing in Israel, quote unquote. Personally, I think what's happening in Israel is a false flag. If you think about what happened, Hamas sends off these missiles. Then they come gliding in on gliders. They're in certain cities, took over certain cities. There's no tanks. There's no air support. There's no way out. It's a suicide mission, right? So all of the Hamas people that went in there, it's a suicide mission. They're not getting out. So what is the point? What are they trying to achieve? Now, if you look at the other side, let's say the quote unquote Israel, what do they get to benefit? Just my theory. I guess time will tell, but they're going to have an excuse to go into Gaza, right? They're going to have an excuse to go in there and do wholesale slaughter and take out a whole bunch of people and take that land. That's my theory. I think it's all for show to gain an objective. Now, if you really want a prophetic scenario would be Iran involved, Saudi Arabia involved, Turkey involved, all the surrounding nations involved at the same time, right? Then you might want to say, okay, this might have some prophetic significance. Other than that, I think it's just a way to them to go into Gaza and clean house. That's my theory, because it don't make no sense. It don't make any sense otherwise, because all of those Hamas guys ain't getting out. They done jumped in the pot, surrounded by weapons and tanks and planes and stuff. They're not getting out. They done. That's all I got to say about it. So we're going to talk today about AI. We're going to talk about the global brain. And this is the plan they have for humanity. Now, if you notice, the people who have a plan for humanity are the palm-colored folks. Right? You don't see us on the planning committees of the WEF and who, except for the little figurehead guy they got who's supposed to be a man of color, but it's the palm-colored folks who have a plan. And I'm not saying they don't include some of these other folks, because a lot of them are Freemasons, right? I ain't talking about no hand sign stuff. I'm just saying some of them are known Freemasons. And so when we look at what's happening on the world scene, they have a plan for humanity, a plan for you, and you did not vote them in. They talk about democracy, but democracy is just a means of manipulation. See, because whoever has the most money can control where the votes go. Whoever controls the counting of the votes controls where the votes go. So democracy is just a facade. It's a facade. So when you hear them in Africa talking about, democratic values, we can't have these coup d'etats because we're a democratic society. What does that mean? That means the people with the most money can control the votes. You don't control the votes. If you think when you vote Democrat and Republican that you putting people in office, I'm sorry to tell you, you're not. It's the people. That's why you only have two choices: right wing, left wing, same bird. Democracy is a facade. But that's not what I'm here to talk about. So, where we're going in the future, see, this is why I tell you all that what I see is terrible, 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 terrible. Because I see what they're doing, what they're trying to accomplish, and they're almost there. They're almost there. And so, some people are preterists who say all of this stuff in the Bible and Revelation happened already. I'm like, okay, I don't know what Bible you reading, but it ain't happened yet, but it's happening now. Hashtag ain't no 400-year prophecy. I'm just saying it is terrible, terrible, terrible. So when we look at the prophecies and we look at what's happening in the world today and we see the plans of the enemy, it is satanic. They are devils. They are serpent seed. Now, who they are, you know who they are. I don't have to mention. But everybody's who's not born again is a part of the conspiracy. Give me a one if you've not noticed a bunch of Israelites denying the scripts, denying the Old Testament, denying the New Testament, saying that it's the white man's book and that the white man manipulated the Bible. Therefore, there's no covenant of promise. Therefore, there's no promise of deliverance from your captors. You're screwed. Give me a one if you've heard a bunch of Israelites denying the scripts. I'm just saying, see, everything falling in line, right? There's a bunch of liars. There's a bunch of deceivers, just like I told y'all. And a lot of people are going to either follow them in their pernicious ways and be deceived and go to hell. And you're going to have the few, because the Bible says what? A few people are going to be saved. I'm sorry to tell you, a few people are going to be saved. And I hope I'm one of them. Well, Yacoba, the Bible says he's only going to save Israel. There's a physical salvation and a spiritual salvation. But I'm not going to talk about that. So they have this plan, and it's a secular humanist plan, but it's also a religious plan too. Don't get it twisted. They're bringing you from religion to secular humanism back to religion again. That's what they're doing. Let me share this. All right. So, artificial intelligence in the future. We talked about artificial intelligence in the past, but we're going to look at this from the viewpoint of where we're at currently and where they want us to go. And remember, I told you certain things before that, what they want to do, and they tell you everything they want to do in sci-fi. I'm telling you, if you want to know what they got planned for you, just go watch sci-fi movies. That's it. Go watch sci-fi movies. Go watch Star Wars. Go watch Star Trek. Just go watch anything. I mean, they're telling you everything they're going to do to you. But it's going to be up to you to say, nah, I'm good. You keep that. I'm good. I'm separating myself. I'm called out. I'm ecclesia. I'm not going along with the stuff. Y'all, if you want to do that, that's good for you. If you want to be known by as a non-binary, that's on you. I'm not rolling with that. I'm not part of your secular humanist society, your anti-God society, your Luciferic agenda. I'm not a part of it. But here's the thing: there's always going to be people in your midst trying to direct you away from the prophecies and therefore to them and something else. So they're going to tell you that there's nothing to worry about. There's nothing to see here. Tell ministries don't know what they're talking about. It's all good. We're going into a new age. Artificial intelligence and the future of humans. Experts say the rise of artificial intelligence will make most people better off over the next decade, but many have concerns about how advances in AI will affect what it means to be human, to be productive, and to exercise free will. Remember in the other shows, I told you the whole purpose of all of this is to remove free will. The whole purpose of this is to tie you into the collective. The whole purpose of this is to Borgify humanity for your Star Trek fans out there. That's why I say, you want to know what they got planned for you. Just go ahead and watch the movies. They're telling you everything they're going to do to you, everything they're going to do to humanity, everything they've already done, even from the whole idea of the zombies apocalypse. I'm not saying it's going to play out like the movies, and I'm not saying what they're going to say going to play out like the cell phones. I'm saying, what is the purpose of a zombie? A living dead being walking with no will, an automaton. This is what they want for humanity, right? So digital life is augmenting human capacities and disrupting eons or ages old human activities. Code-driven systems have spread to more than half of the world's inhabitants in ambient information and connectivity, offering previously unimagined opportunities and unprecedented threats. As emerging algorithm-driven artificial intelligence continues to spread, will people be better off than they are today? Now, that's the question. Will people be better off than they are today? No, they will not, because you are going to be a slave, Neo. Oh, yeah. You're going to be a slave. I prefer not to be here than to be a slave. The kind of slavery that they're planning for humanity is going to be worse than our enslavement and our ancestors' enslavement. Even though that is hard to believe, how can their enslavement be worse than ours? Well, you're not going to have any free will. You're not going to be able to plan your life. You're not going to have any free time unless they give you free time. You're not going to be able to eat unless they allow you to eat. You're not going to be able to eat what you want to eat. You're going to have to eat what they give you to eat. You're not going to be able to drink what you want to drink. You're going to have to drink what they give you to drink. So there's a deliverance coming for those who are Israelites and those who attach themselves to those Israelites. I know Gentiles don't believe that. That's fine. That's Bible. It's really interesting because, it's like, even if you debate them people, they're going to gaslight you and say, these aren't the drawers you're looking for. This scripture don't mean what it says. That this scripture is Old Testament. So it don't matter. I know it says we're going to be enslaved or Gentiles going to be enslaved right there. I know what it says, but I don't believe that because that's Old Testament. That's what they're going to tell you. Some 979 technology pioneers, innovators, developers, business, policy leaders, researchers, and activists answered this question in a canvassing of experts conducted in the summer of 2018. The experts predicted networked artificial intelligence will amplify human effectiveness. How is human effectiveness going to be amplified? But also threaten human autonomy. You know what autonomy means, right? That means you get to decide what you want to do. See, you ain't gonna have no free will. They got all this planned for you. Agency and capabilities. They spoke of the wide ranging possibilities that computers might match or even exceed human intelligence and capabilities on tasks such as complex decision making, reasoning and learning, sophisticated analytics and pattern recognition, visual acuity, speech recognition, and language translation. They say smart systems in communities and vehicles and buildings and utilities on farms and in business processes will save time, money, and lives and offer opportunities for individuals to enjoy a more customized future. Have you noticed that a lot of people aren't here anymore after the so called last 3 years? Right? I'm going to just say it that way. Have you noticed that a lot of things that we had access to, we don't have access to anymore? Have you noticed when you go to the store, you can't find in mass what you used to find? Have you noticed if you want to get a part for your car or for your washing machine now, it's going to take you months to get it fixed or to get people to come and do it? Have you noticed things keep changing? But no, ain't nothing changed. Watch this video to get a glimpse. We're not going to watch this video, but I just want you to come along with me on this. Watch this video to get a glimpse of what's coming. Search as we know it is dead or dying. ETA within 5 years. Apps are becoming yesterday's way to interact with services, platforms, and intelligent digital assistants. I call them IDAs will be taking their place. The race is on. Who will be the dominant global brain that some 6 billion internet users, estimated 2020 number, will tap into? I said this 5 years ago. Google's goal is to become humanity's operating system. What? Google's goal is to become humanity's operating system. You're going to be a part of the collective. Our global brain that we outsource everything to. And yes, there will be other competing brains such as Facebook, Amazon, Baidu, Tencent. I don't know whether to laugh or to cry thinking about that one. So there's going to be a global brain, but what does that even mean? We're going to be interacting with AI, I mean, what's going to be different? We're going to be asking chat bot questions. What's going to be different? Now, you notice if you ask chatbot a question, chatbot is going to give you the sanitized version or the consensus version of the answer. Ask chatbot, well, chatbot, who are the true Jews? You're going to get a chatbot global sanitized version of the answer. Chatbot is going to control your access to information. Because once the interface is gone for the keyboards, once the interface is gone for searching, once the interface is now, hello, Siri, give me the time today. Hello, Siri, what is the weather like? Once your interface is all AI driven, you're only going to get AI answers, and you're not going to be able to refine your query to find the truth. But that's all good, because guess what? They're doing it for your protection. They're keeping you away from fake information, fake news, fake news, fake news. They're protecting you from yourself because you're not smart enough to be able to discern between truth and a lie. So you're going to participate, and you're already doing it. You're already a part of the global collective, but they're going somewhere else with that. Origins of a global brain. The concept of a global brain first emerged in the late 19th century, when pioneering thinkers first suggested the possibility of societal networks harnessing collective intelligence. In the 1920s, the term global brain was coined by the Belgian intellectual author Paul Otlet, when he proposed building a universal network of knowledge containing the world's documents and information. Can we say the internet? As our world becomes increasingly interconnected through advanced tech, we may now be witnessing the emergence of this global brain through artificial intelligence. The global brain could have profound implications for the future of our species and our planet. Now, this whole thing, I'm telling you, if you really want to know where they're going, just watch the sci-fi movies. Like in Star Trek, you had the Queen of the Borg. So she's sort of like the head center knowledge producer of, information. And the other Borgs that, other people that were integrated into the Borg collective had no free will. They only did what the Queen commanded them to do. I'm serious. This is what they want for humanity. See, I'm telling you now, I'm not getting the new glasses. I'm not getting the Ray-Bans that's connected to the internet with the Wi-Fi and the virtual reality integration stuff. I'm not doing it. I'm done. I'm going to keep my keyboard. I'm going to keep my laptop and my computer and my search engines. I'm done. I'm not moving on to no virtual reality. I'm not wearing no virtual reality glasses. I don't use the Wi-Fi earbuds. I'm not. I'm done. I'm going to stick with my wires. I'm going to stick with my keyboards. I'm done. I'm not moving on with the rest of you all into this new system. I'm not giving up my free will. I see what they're doing, and it's to manipulate the masses. So the concept of Earth as a living superorganism was first proposed in the 1920s by the French philosopher and Jesuit priest Pierre Teilhard de Chardin. Notice he's a Jesuit priest who came up with this. Notice that now. The same people who enslaved us, the same people who hunt us down from nation to nation. I'm just saying. He described the emergence of a living membrane composed of human thought that would envelop the world. Now, how does human thought envelop the world? Other thinkers expanded on this idea, noting how telecommunications were connecting humans across the planet into an integrated system or collective consciousness. Now, a collective consciousness. Now, how can you have a collective consciousness? In order to have a collective consciousness, you have to be able to read my mind. We got to be on the same page. You have to be able to hear what I'm thinking. Before I even ask the question, you have to already be coming up with the solution. And we're all integrated through the global brain. We're all integrated through my mic keep going on. I don't know what's going on, but we're all integrated through the global brain. Now, before I continue, if y'all can hear me, give me a 1. If you can't, give me a 2, because I kept going in and out. Okay, great. All right. So the philosopher and futurist Peter Russell further developed the analogy of the global brain in the 1980s. He saw the potential for humanity to spiritually evolve into an integrated superorganism, just as isolated neurons integrate their functioning to create a conscious brain. The internet provided an initial wiring diagram for his global brain to form, enabling instant communication between people worldwide. Now, my question to you all is, what do you think Elon Musk is doing? Do you think Elon Musk was really creating these chip brain implants to help invalid people? No. The main reason is so they could stick these chips in your head so you could become a part of the collective and lose free will and be under the control of Satan. I know. For the people who don't believe all that stuff, it's all fantasy. What do you think is happening? What do you think the purpose of this stuff is? Why do you think Elon Musk is really creating a brain implant? Well, he's so concerned about people because they have Parkinson's or something like that. Well, let's look at the percentage of people who have Parkinson's or who will need a brain implant. It's very small. You're not going to get rich off of that. But I tell you, if you're going to implant the whole world, yes, you're going to get rich. His purpose is to implant humanity. Why? So that you could become part of the Borg collective. Remember, they say this is a collective consciousness. Consciousness is your awareness. Consciousness is your awareness. So you're going to be collectively aware of each other. You're going to be collectively aware of information on the internet. You're going to be collectively aware of thoughts in other people's heads. You're going to be collectively aware of the billions and billions of information flowing in the collective, aka internet. You're going to be collectively aware of the devil, right? I'm just saying, you're going to be collectively aware of Satan, of the Antichrist, who's going to be the Borg queen. This is my opinion. The Antichrist is going to be like the Borg queen. He's going to be part of this collective consciousness. The Antichrist is going to be a part of this collective consciousness, and he's going to be like the Borg queen telling y'all what to do. I told you, just watch the movies. They're going to tell you what's happening. So you're going to have this collective consciousness where if you are part of it, you're going to go insane. If you become a part of a system, you're going to go insane. I remember reading an article, this was years ago, and they were talking about this type of thing, and you would have to request access to a private area on the network so that you can have peace to yourself, so you can have a quiet time, so that you won't be having all of these things in your head. So Russell predicted that as technology improved, humans will be able to directly share experiences. Collective consciousness. You're all going to be in each other's heads. You're going to have shared experiences. Who wants that? See, me, I'm an introvert. I don't want to be a part of no collective consciousness. I'm sorry. I don't want to be hooked up to nobody's head for like forever. I don't want to be a part of no collective consciousness. Leave me alone. Let me be myself. I'm going to be self-aware. I don't need to know what you're thinking or what you're doing. I don't need to have y'all perversions in my head. I don't need to have all your wickedness in my head. They're trying to make it sound good. No, it's hell on earth. It's hell on earth. So share experiences and merge their individual perspectives into a broader understanding of reality. So my thoughts and my understanding and my perspective, you're going to understand it. Well, some of y'all, I don't want to hear. I don't want your perspective because some of y'all crazy. Y'all know it. Y'all know we got some crazy people in this world. Some of these people are insane. Do you want to be hooked up to these people? Do y'all want to hear their perspective? I don't think so. I could not be a part of some of these people. I'm sorry. Some of these people are insane. Look at the same people who go out there and they shoot up hospitals and they shoot up churches and they shoot up all these places. You want to be a part of that collective consciousness? You want to share that experience? You want to have their perspective of the world? What about the ones who hate Negroes? Do you want to be a part of that collective consciousness? Do you want to share in their perspective of those who hate Negroes, but they're part of the collective? Really? It sounds like hell on earth to me. This is the plan that they have for humanity. Russell's concept was based on connecting emerging insights from system science, evolutionary theory. Now, keep that in mind now, evolutionary theory, computer networks and electronic communication with spiritual principles around transcendence. You see the key word. This is New Age concepts and evolutionary concepts. Evolutionary theory around what? Transcendence. You're going to become a god. Transcendence and collective unity. He saw the parallels between isolated neurons self organizing into an intelligent brain and human beings linking up into what? An integrated global consciousness. Can we say the Borg family? Can we say the Borg, boys and girls? There's no escape. We will merge your individual and instinct identification into our own. Resistance is futile. See, this is why everybody's a part of this system. Everybody's creating the new world order, and their timeline for all of this stuff is 2030. Now, it's really interesting. Why 2030? Why 2030? What's going on here? See, this is demonic to the utmost. I'm going to tell you, the only ones who's going to escape this are those who are awake. I don't know how they're going to do it, but just like they did with the lollipop and got some people to take the lollipop because they weren't ready for it and they didn't listen, some kind of way they're going to force everybody into this whole global thing. Now, here's my theory. My theory is out of this war, out of this World War III that we're in, that's going to explode into a more severe worldwide global catastrophe, after the dust settles, will be the Ewoks. After the dust settles, the humanity's gonna come and say, we are the world, we are the future. Humanity's gonna be dancing and singing because now we're bringing forth peace, prosperity, no more war, no more weapons, no more nukes, all going to be under this global authority of peace and love, run by the three monotheistic religions, along with their allied nations. It's a bit obvious. Peter Russell talks about the seeds of his idea of the global brain 40 years ago. Now, they've been talking about this forever. I'm not going to play this video, but they've been talking about this forever. Artificial intelligence, human brain to merge in 2030, says the futurist Kurzweil. What is it with 2030? Ray Kurzweil, Google's director of engineering, says we're close to linking our brains with AI. We're close, family. We're close to link. No, I'm not linking my brains to AI. It's not going to happen. They overcame him by the blood of the Lamb and the word of their testimony, and they loved not their lives unto death. You know, Christians never mention that last part. Have you noticed that? Have you noticed Christians never mention, and they love not their lives unto death? They say they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb and the word of their testimony. Ain't nothing they got to do. They don't go to that last verse, and they love not their lives unto death. They don't want to have to die. So what do you do when you have to choose between life and death, or choose between death and the mark of the beast, or choose between death and serving the Most High? What do you do then? Do you go along with the global conscious collective? Do you go along with the ABCEFG people? Do you go along with the people who don't know who they are, who think they're doggies and cats? Do you go along with the psychotic people in the world who don't know what humanity is anymore? Do you not see how bad it is? Do you see how insane the world has come? All the while there's earthquakes, pestilence, tornadoes, wars, rumors of wars in diverse places, kingdoms against kingdoms, and nation against nation. But guess what? All of this happened already, according to some of these Christians, according to some of these preterists. But what is it? What's going on with 2030? Why is 2030 the deadline for everything? A test subject poses with a electroencephalography cap, which measures brain activity. Science fiction has a long tradition of pitting artificial intelligence against humanity in a struggle for dominance. Now, here's the thing. If you have a self-aware artificial intelligence that can make its own decisions, can reason faster than you, right? And you know, if you mess with Chat GPT, you can see how very, let's say, aware it is. There's going to be conflict. These people are already, and I talked about this in a previous show, these people are already talking about laws being implemented so that you can have artificial intelligent judges, AI judges. Do y'all remember Buck Rogers in the 25th century? If you remember Buck Rogers, give me a one. Some of y'all too young. Y'all may not remember Buck Rogers in the 25th century. But Buck Rogers, you know, he was in a ship and he went off and he was frozen, and then they got the ship and he awoke in the future, and guess what? They had AI. They had AI, and guess what? AI was sitting on the board or on the council. And remember, Biggie, for you all who remember, Biggie, positronic brain. People were being ruled over by artificial intelligence. And these people, and I know for a fact, are already talking about the legal aspects and how AI can rule over humans. How AI can judge between you and your neighbor. How AI can send you to jail, send you to prison, because AI is the judge. Don't worry about discrimination. AI doesn't discriminate. Hint, hint, right? AI doesn't discriminate. It just so happens AI gonna continue sending Negroes to jail. I'm just saying, don't fall for the okie doke. They're gonna tell you AI isn't racist. AI is gonna fairly be able to arbitrate between the two individuals, one palm colored, one not. The AI can automatically give a righteous ruling, not. AI already discriminates. The technology already discriminates. Go look at facial recognition systems and see how facial recognition systems already discriminate against Black folks. Black folks should have nothing to do. I'm telling you, nothing to do with this new world order, future technological progress, Ray-Bans, virtual reality. They're already in it, a lot of them, because they don't even know what they are. Some of them say they're binary. I'm like, okay, what's that? You a 1 and a 0? I don't know what that is. Explain it to me, please. I'm a bit slow. It makes no sense. But ain't no 400-year prophecy. All this stuff I'm talking about, all this stuff you see happening, it don't matter. Jacoba don't know what he's talking about. Go back to sleep. The whole world is getting chains put on their necks and on their ankles and on their wrists, and they don't even know it. And there's only a few people out here, like one crying out in the wilderness. Only a few people out here crying in the wilderness. One of y'all was coming. How bad it is. You got a target painted on your forehead. Oh, yeah. I know some of y'all don't want to hear this because this is negative. This is negative. I want to hear good stuff. Well, if all you hear is good stuff, you ain't going to be ready for the bad. Ray Kurzweil, Google's director of engineering and a noted futurist and inventor, envisions a more cooperative future. He says the human brain will soon merge with computer networks to form a hybrid artificial intelligence. This is what they're talking about. This is what they're trying to accomplish. In the 2030s, now how does he know this, right? How does he know this? In the 2030s, we're going to connect directly from the neocortex to the cloud, said Kurzweil, speaking at the Exponential Finance Conference in New York. on June 3rd. How does he know this going to happen in 2030? That's what I want to know. Is he psychic? Is he a prophet? How does he know this? When I need a few thousand computers, I can access that wirelessly. Oh, you're gonna be hooked up to the global collective. You're gonna be part of the conscious collective. You're gonna have a brain implant. No peace of mind. But see, what they're doing is over the generations, they're going to slowly get your children to become ABCDEFGs and not understand who they are. And they're going to say, you know what? It's normal to hack into the collective and join a community of people who are part of the collective consciousness. They're going to be conditioned. See, all of you all, that's why a lot of y'all not here no more. A lot of people ain't here no more. Why? Because a lot of the people that's here not going into the new world order. See, they had to get rid of all of these people because these people weren't going to jump in and be a part of the collective, whether or not they're Christians or not, whether or not they're Israelites or not, or whatever. People who are used to experiencing nature and going fishing and enjoying the sun and fellowshipping and barbecuing with their family, they got to go. They got to go. Why? Because they're not going to join this artificial world. They're going to only go up so far. They know this. This is why they had to reduce the population. This is all done by Luciferians, all done by Freemasons. And I'm not saying all the Freemasons involved in this, but the ones who are Freemasons. And I ain't talking about no hand signs. You stay away from me with that foolishness. Creating Artificial Minds. In his 2012 book, How to Create a Mind, Kurzweil said the neocortex of the human brain contains 300 million pattern processors that are responsible for human thought. These pattern processors could be artificially replicated, argued Kurzweil, allowing artificial intelligence to surpass human ability. So he's saying that the brain has these pattern processes or processors that can be replicated. That wouldn't make the human brain obsolete, though. By linking our brains to cloud computers, claims Kurzweil, humans could expand the limits of our own computing ability and eventually upload our own brains to the cloud. This is what they're trying to do. And this is what they have for humanity. No free will. You're part of the collective. You ain't nothing but a node on a network. You ain't nothing but a node on a network. No free will. No family. Why? Because the consciousness is your family. No mommy, no daddy, no children, no nothing. And even if you're going to reproduce and you're going to have babies, you're going to have to go to Google Baby Delivery Service and give your DNA and have them generate or produce an egg and create another baby that's going to be hooked up and join the collective. This is satanic. This is demonic. But this is literally what they're trying to do. But hashtag ain't no 400-year prophecy. Don't forget to get your shirts at giftgivingforall.com. By 2030, you'll be living in a world that's run by Google. Remember they said Google's going to be your operating system? Remember that? Can we say 666? Oh my goodness. The Google logo. Can we say 666? Oh yes. You think I was joking. You think it's a conspiracy theory that the whole world has been taken over by devil worshipers. No, they have. They have. I hope I don't get shut down because I'm on their platform now. I was asked on Quora what Google will look like in 2030, since that is one of the most important issues the world is facing right now. I took some time to answer it in full. Larry Page, one of Google's two co-founders, once said offhandedly that Google is not about building a search engine. As he said it, we're really making an AI Google right now. It's all about building the world brain that will take care of every person all the time and everywhere. We're building a world brain that will take care of every person all the time and everywhere. By 2030, what's with 2030? Google will have that world brain in existence and it will look after all of us. And that's quite possibly both the best and worst thing that could happen to humanity. They want you to be taken care of by AI. You're going to be a part of the collective consciousness because you're not going to be able to compete unless you're part of the collective consciousness. We're going to make you a god. Now, their definition of God and our definition of God is two different things, but I digress. China aims to replicate human brain and bid to dominate global AI. Aiming to be the first in the world to have the most advanced forms of artificial intelligence while also maintaining control over more than 1 billion people, elite Chinese scientists and their government have turned to something new and very old for inspiration: the human brain. In one of thousands of efforts underway, they are constructing a city brain to enhance the computers at the core of the smart cities that already scan the country from Beijing's broad avenues to small town streets, collecting and processing terabytes of information from intricate networks of sensors, cameras, and other devices that monitor traffic, human faces, voices, and gait, and even look for gathering of fights. Equipped with surveillance and visual processing capabilities modeled on human vision, the new brain will be more effective, less energy hungry, and will improve governance, its developers say. We call it bionic retina computing. Gao Wen, a leading artificial intelligence researcher, wrote in the paper City Brain. I'm going to skip down here. So there's AI, then there's AGI. AGI is artificial general information. So there are major differences between the narrow AI, artificial intelligence systems, and artificial general information systems. So between narrow AI systems to use now, which cannot think for themselves but can perform tasks such as writing a person's term paper or identifying their faces, versus the more ambitious artificial general intelligence. So that's what it is. Artificial general intelligence that could one day do better than humans at many tasks. So the artificial general intelligence is this merging of man and machine. U.S. scientists are also working on AGI, artificial general intelligence, through efforts are mostly scattered, unlike in China, where research institutes devoted to it have received many hundreds of millions of dollars in state funding, says Western AI scientists who have worked with their Chinese counterparts in cutting edge fields, but who asked not to be identified due to political sensitivities there surrounding the topic. A child reaches toward a robot at the World Artificial Intelligence Conference in Shanghai in July. China is working on human robot mergers and brain computer interfaces as part of its ambitious plans to realize artificial general intelligence. Their plan is to merge you with machine. It's not a conspiracy theory. Robots are lined up at the World Artificial Intelligence Conference in Shanghai in July. China's research has included an examination of how to mimic human brain neural networks in computers and efforts that could ultimately lead to human robot hybrids. Can we say cyborgs? Human robot hybrids, for example, by placing a large scale brain simulation on a robot body. But here's the thing: Don't think that it's just going to be artificial intelligence and a robot body. They're going to be manipulating biologics and making new life forms. And they're going to give these new life forms a half human, half animal, half robot body. I mean, they're already doing this. But all of these prophecies in Revelation happened already. Don't worry about it. You're not going to have to deal with it. And if you have to deal with it, we're going to be raptured out. No, we're already in it. We're already in it. And we're already in World War III. This is the plans that they have for us. And some of you are going to go along with it. And some of you won't. I know I'm not. But listen, people don't understand that this is a plan. This is controlled evolution. This is controlled evolution. They're going to control the evolutionary process, and they're going to make you a god. That's the selling point. That's the selling point. But what they're really going to do is make you a slave, Neo. Genesis 2:8-9. Now, Yahuwah had planted a garden in the east in Eden, and there he put the man he had formed. Yahuwah made all kinds of trees grow out of the ground, trees that were pleasing to the eye and good for food. In the middle of the garden were the tree of life and the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. I told you all before that we all are being presented with the same thing, two trees. I told y'all that before. We're being presented with two trees. Again, the tree of the knowledge of good and evil and the tree of life. Which one you going to choose? The tree of life says, I'm gonna leave me GMO free. I'm gonna be GMO free. My family gonna be GMO free. My food gonna be GMO free. I'm not gonna be part of a virtual world. I'm gonna live in the real world. I'm gonna enjoy creation that God gave me, as y'all refer to him. And that's right, Miss Beverly. The Bible says choose life. Choose life. See, God already told you what to do. He said choose life. You either gonna be obedient or you're gonna be disobedient. And if you're disobedient, you're gonna choose death. You're gonna choose knowledge. You're gonna choose technology. Genesis 3:4-5. You will not certainly die, the serpent said to the woman, for Yahuwah knows that when you eat from it, your eyes will be opened, and you will be like Yah, knowing good and evil. For God knows that when you eat from it, what? The tree of knowledge of good and evil, your eyes will be open. Can we say enlightenment? Can we say collective consciousness? Can we say the new age? Can we say the mystery religions? See, they're giving you their own esoteric world with their own forced evolution, because evolution is outside of the Most High and outside of life and trying to maintain life in a system cursed with death. Many people, they hear the truth, but they reject it. They live in a fallen world and see the craziness. They see the ABCDs and the EFGs, the LMNOPs. They see the binary artificial intelligence. Y'all know what I'm saying. Y'all know what I'm saying. Read between the lines. They see the falling away from the faith. They see the wars, the rumors of wars, earthquakes, pestilence. They say all is happening, but ain't no 400-year prophecy. All of this just happening now, all at the same time. But we crazy. I'm watching people getting operations to look like a dog and identify as a dog, but we crazy. Revelation 13, 15, and 17. The second beast was given power to give breath to the image. Can we say the artificial intelligence robot? The second beast was given power to give breath to the artificial intelligence robot of the first beast, so that the image could speak and cause all who refuse to worship the image to be killed. So AI is going to rule over you. AI is going to judge you. AI is going to force you to worship the first beast. And if you don't worship the image or the artificial intelligence or the robot, you're going to be killed. It also forced all people who? The AI, the artificial intelligence, the robot. The robot also forced all people, great and small, rich and poor, free and slave, to receive a mark in their right hands or on their foreheads, so that they could not buy or sell unless they had the mark, which is the name of the beast or the number of his name. In other words, you ain't going to be able to buy, trade, or sell because you're not going to be allowed on a new digital platform. You're not going to be allowed to transact on the blockchain. You're not going to be able to buy anything because they track everything you buy. They track the money you have and what you can buy with that money. There's no freedom. You ain't going to be able to run because they got all of the nations, all of the states networked through 5G. And you're also going to be a part of the collective. You're going to be a part of the collective. This is what they have for you. And I'm going to tell you, if you don't know Yah, if you don't know Yeshua as Savior, if you're following some of these Israelites who's rejecting the scriptures of the only begotten God, you're going to be standing on your own. You're going to be standing with these people. You're going to become a part of the collective. You're going to get the chip implant. You're going to get the mark. You're going to become part of this network of brains connected to this global world brain where you don't have no peace. You don't have no peace of mind. You don't have no thoughts. You can't go to your own room and close the door and pray. You can't go to the room and just quiet out and watch a movie and read a book. No, you're going to have millions and millions of people in your head. And you're going to have the devil telling you what you can and cannot do. Why? Because you ain't going to have no free will. Oh, you think I'm exaggerating, but yeah, you go ahead, you listen to the preterists, you go ahead and say all this stuff happened in the past. You just go ahead and do that. Believe that it all happened already as we slowly get more and more to 2030, because that's the deadline that they have, 2030. Why 2030? I don't know, but I have a guess. I have a guess. Don't mean I'm right. And we're going to talk about it. Revelation 20, verse 4-5. I saw thrones on which were seated those who have been given authority to judge. And I saw the souls of those who have been beheaded because of their testimony about Yeshua and because of the word of Yah. they had not worshiped the beast or his artificial intelligent robot image, and had not received its mark on their foreheads or their hands. They didn't hook up into the global consciousness. They did not Borgify themselves. They did not become a part of this global rebellion against the Most High and part of Satan's kingdom, where they gave up their free will and took a brain implant or a brain chip or a tattoo that allowed them to connect to the global internet or the global consciousness, or can we say the collective consciousness, which is all part of the new age. So along with this, along with the global consciousness, along with being a part of the new world order, along with the forced evolutionary progress of humanity that they're currently forcing the world in, along with that is their form of eternal life.
Would you be the person that says, I want to live for as long as I can, as long as God allowed me to live? Or would you be the person that would say, you know what, I think, hey, I'm too old right now, man. I can't do this anymore. Let me just, you can do it. Thank you very much, family, for being with me. You know what I mean? You speak to your family, your loved ones, you hug them, then you say goodbye. Would you be that person? Okay, so what's happening right now here is many businessmen, many big business are investing into longevity. Yes, you've heard it. So they are trying to find a technology that would get you to live much longer. Yeah, much longer. So over 100 years, 160 years. And they say they're making breakthrough through this technology. It's literally biotech technology. They're going to have to hack into your DNA, change a few things, twist here and there just to get you possibility and opportunity to live much longer. So extend your life expansion, extend your possibility of living. And trust me, big businesses are into this. There's Jeff Bezos. For those of you who know, Jeff Bezos, he's one big man, right? Jeff Bezos is invested into a startup named Alto Labs. The startup specializes into getting you to live much longer. So they say, despite being a startup, Alto Labs has already attracted much attention after its launch last year, with $3 billion in capital. $3 billion for a startup, that's unheard of. $3 billion. Okay, so with Amazon founder Jeff Bezos reportedly being one of the key investors, according to the company, the mission is to restore the cell health and resilience through cellular rejuvenation. This reverse disease, injury, and disabilities that can occur throughout the life of a person. So basically, they're saying this technology can reverse diseases.
So this technology can reverse diseases. It can reverse diseases. Revelation 9:6, and in those days shall men seek death and shall not find it, and shall desire to die, and death shall flee from them. Hashtag though. Ain't no 400-year prophecy. I'm not going to say I told you so. I don't care if it looks like a duck and quack like a duck. Some of y'all going to say it's not a duck. All of this stuff happening all at the same time is just coincidence. All the revelation has already happened thousands of years and hundreds of years ago. I know. But as it was in the days of Noah, shall also the coming of the Son of Man be. What did Enoch say they did? Mixing one species with another. We could look at the ancient pyramids and all these things and see that there was an advanced technology before all of this. We can read the Bhagavad Gita and see that there was advanced technology before all of this. Ain't nothing new under the sun. But this is how bad it is. And some of y'all going around and live your lives like it was 20 years ago. It ain't 20 years ago. We are living the book of Revelation right now, while plagues are falling on the planet. Some of y'all don't care that all this stuff is happening around you and around your children. Well, I have faith. I got faith too. but I got faith with works. You better be putting a little extra food aside, a little extra water, because you're going to have to go through some transitions. Israel going to leave here crying. That's what the Bible said, but some of y'all want to reject that. Oh, well, I know you say we got to flee. I ain't say when to flee. I just say that we going to flee. There's a difference. And these people, the palm-colored people, are also passing laws trying to overturn civil rights. But y'all don't care. I told you they're going to push you out. They already got rid of affirmative action. Now they're trying to get rid of the other civil rights that you supposedly had. How you think you're going to live here? You're a minority. Didn't they tell you that 100 million times? You're a minority. Ain't nobody care about you. They still shooting you in the streets. What you going to do? How you going to live? How you going to survive? Until the Most High come, you got to deal with it. Let's be honest. People still dropping by police. Somebody just recently dropped by police. You got to live in this until the Most High come. I told you. See, Israel, we need to be fasting. We need to be praying. We need to be repenting. But we also need to be looking out for one another. They will know you they will know you what? By the love you had one for another. How do you show love? Oh, I love you, Israel. Yeah. You could tell me that. But how do you show it? How do you show love? When I'm in need, you there. When I'm hungry, you feed me. When I'm in prison, you visit me. When I don't have no place to stay, you help me stay if it's within your means. I'm just saying, let's not go with the Christian idea of love. They think that all they can do is just talk and not do anything. Christians watch you get hung from trees and don't do anything. Christians watch you shot in the street and don't do anything. And I'm talking about the palm-colored ones. But love is an action. Don't be deceived. If you ain't loving in action, you ain't loving. If you ain't loving your fellow brothers and sisters, you ain't loving. If you ain't helping them when they in need, when they down and out, when they hurting, and I know you can only do what you can, you do what you can. I'm just saying, let's be real. The only way we gonna make it through this is with each other and the Most High. This is the reality of the world we're in. See, people think I just got to wait on the Most High. Yeah, you got to wait, but you got to wait helping each other. You got to wait loving each other. You got to wait spending money on each other. You got to wait helping people when they ain't got no food to eat. If it ain't in your ability, then it ain't in your ability. But if it's look, let's be real. We got all these entertainers, got millions and millions and millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars, and ain't helped not near one of y'all. But they call themselves Israel, but they don't identify as Israel, because if they identify as Israel, they will be helping Israel. They take some of them little dollars they got and help some of them people get some shelter. They take some of them dollars they got and help people get some food. They take some of them dollars they got and help people get some water. They help them people when they're in need. You know what I'm saying? Look, if you ain't got it, you ain't got it. As God has prospered you, freely give, not grudgingly or necessity, but Yah loves a cheerful giver. I'm just saying, in reality, if we gonna get out of this, it's by love, and it ain't the fake love of Christianity. It's the true love of sacrifice. It's the true love of sacrifice. I'm telling you. This how we gonna make it. Don't let nobody deceive you, because these people are against us. They're doing all this because they know you are about to rule. Because Esau is the end of the world and Jacob is the beginning of that which follows. But what's going on is the implementation of not just evolutionary principles. What's going on is also the implementation of the new age, of occult spirituality, or can we say the dawning of the age of Aquarius. Now, before I get started, I'm not promoting no alternative belief system or religion. I'm not promoting the age of Aquarius. Before y'all start with some foolish, you know what, I gotta say it, because you gotta protect yourself before these liars come out and say you're moving hands. I'm just saying. The age of Aquarius. The age of Aquarius in astrology is either the current or forthcoming astrological age, depending on the method of calculation. Astrologers maintain that an astrological age is a product of the Earth's slow precessional rotation and lasts for 2,160 years on average. One great year equals 25,920 year period of precession. 12 zodiac signs equals 2,160 years. There are various methods of calculating the boundaries of an astrological age in sun sign astrology. The first sign is Aries, followed by Taurus, Gemini, blah, 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 right? Whereupon a cycle returns to Aries and through the zodiacal signs again, astrological ages proceed in the opposite direction. Therefore, the age of Aquarius follows the age of Pisces. Now, I'm not promoting no age of Aquarius. I'm not even promoting none of this hobgoobly blah zodiacal crap. I'm not promoting that. I'm showing you what these people believe. I'm showing you why I think 2030 is their deadline, why they're so fixed on 2030, why they want you hooked up to the global consciousness. Why? Because according to the New Age religion, you're going to have an awareness. You're going to have an awakening. You're going to be a part of this collective brotherhood, and they're forcing you into it. Let me scroll down here. Okay. So astrologers believe that an astrological age affects humanity, possibly by influencing the rise and fall of civilizations or cultural tendencies. See, the rise and fall of civilization. What do we see here now, family? Do we see the rise or the fall of civilization? Yes or no? I'm telling you, these people, this is what they're about. Traditionally, Aquarius is associated with electricity, computers, flight, democracy, freedom, humanitarianism, idealism, modernization, nervous disorders, rebellion, nonconformity, philanthropy, veracity, perseverance, humanity, and irresolution. Among other dates, one view is that the age of Aquarius arrived around 1844 with the harbinger of Syed Ali Muhammad, who founded Babism. Marcia Moore and Mark Douglas promoted the view that although no one knows when the Aquarian age begins, the American Revolution, the Industrial Revolution, and the discovery of electricity are all attributable to the Aquarian age. Moore and Douglas make a number of predictions about the trends they believe will develop in the Aquarian age. Now, pay close attention to this, right? What they expect during the age of Aquarius. A common position expressed by many astrologers see the age of Aquarius as that time when humanity takes control of the earth. Can we say world government? Can we say United Nations? And its own destiny as its rightful heritage, with the destiny of humanity being the revelation of truth and expansion of what? Consciousness. Did we not talk about the collective consciousness, AI, integration, Borgification, and that some people will experience enlightenment in advance of others and therefore be recognized as the new leaders of the world. This is why we have this 2030 deadline, in my opinion, because this is the dawning of the age of Aquarius, right? This is the dawning of this new age of awakening, of expanded consciousness and technological progress. Proponents of Medieval astrology suggests that Pisces world, where religion is the opiate of the masses, will be replaced in the Aquarian age. Are we not becoming secular? By a world ruled by secretive, power-hungry elites seeking absolute power over others, that knowledge in the Aquarian age will only be valued for its ability to win wars, that knowledge and science will be abused, not industry and trade, and that the Aquarian age will be a dark age in which religion is considered offensive. Is that not where we're at? Sound like the age of Aquarius to me, the dark age. The real dark age is not the one they came up with when Moors ruled Europe. Another view suggests that the rise of scientific rationalism combined with the fall of religious influence, the increasing focus on human rights since the 1780s, the exponential growth of technology, plus the advent of flight and space travel are evidence of the dawning of the age of Aquarius. This technological age, this age of AI, artificial intelligence, or the age of artificial general intelligence, the age of technology, the age of networks, the age of 5G, the integration of humanity with AI is the age of Aquarius. This is the dawning of the age of Aquarius. A wave theory of the shifting great ages suggests that the age of Aquarius will not arrive on a given date, but is instead emerging in influence over many years, similar to how the tide surges forward incrementally rather than all at once. Y'all see how this technological evolution, this turning away from the word of Yah and this global consciousness and this idea of technology and mankind rising to his evolutionary height, right? All at the same time, right? In the integration of humanity with AI, as we saw, all happening at the same time. This is the dawning of the age of Aquarius, happening as a wave coming over the horizon. Rudolf Steiner believed that the age of Aquarius will arrive 3573, and Steiner's approach each age is exactly 2,160 years. Based on this structure, the world has been in the age of Pisces since 1413. Steiner had spoken about two great spiritual events: the return of the Christ, can we say Antichrist, in the ethereal world, because people must develop their faculties until they can reach the ethereal world, and the incarnation of Ahriman, Zoroaster's destructive spirit that will try to block the evolution of humanity. Is it not interesting that we have CERN, and CERN is dealing with the integration of this technological physical world into the spiritual domain, right? And supposedly creating portals and people integrating and interfacing with spirits. Could it be, and I'm just speculating, could it be that CERN is really being used as a network node, right? Or a network point that interfaces with the spirit realm, which allows humanity on this global brain, this global consciousness to be possessed or controlled through technology by devils that exist in the pit or in the abyss? Could it be that they're interfacing our reality with the ethereal? Gnostic philosopher Samuel Ward declared February 4th, 62 to be the beginning of the age of Aquarius, held it by the alignment of the first 6 planets, the sun, moon, and the constellation Aquarius. The expression of age of Aquarius in popular culture usually refers to the heyday of the hippie and new age movements in the 60s and the 70s. See, some of y'all too young don't know about that. Y'all don't know about this song. This is the dawning of the age of Aquarius, the age of Aquarius. That's what we're in. But it's coming like a wave. It's coming like a wave, slowly enveloping the whole world. And all of these nations and all of these world leaders are a part of implementing this global system of control, this global system of enlightenment, but it's really darkness. The increase in knowledge, technology, which will enslave the entire world. The 1967 musical Hair, with its opening song Aquarius and the line, "This is the dawning of the age of Aquarius," brought the Aquarian Age concept to the attention of the audiences worldwide. However, the song further defines this dawning of the age within the first lines. When the moon is in the seventh house and Jupiter aligns with Mars, then peace, what? Then peace, what? Then peace will guide the planets and love will steer the stars. Astrologer Spencer denounced the lyrics as astrological gibberish, noting that Jupiter aligns with Mars several times a year, and the moon is in the seventh house for 2 hours every day. These lines are considered by critics to be poetic license, although some people have taken them literally. An example is the identification of Valentine's Day 09 as the perfect alignment to support our collective manifestation of love and peace and dawning of the Aquarian age, or the age of Aquarius. So we have this global age of humanity rising to his evolutionary apex, right? Where he's integrated with this AI God, lowercase g, where he's controlled and told what to do and managed by this global consciousness called the global brain. Run by who? The Antichrist. Now, who is the Antichrist? Is the Antichrist a man? Is he Xi Jinping? I don't know. Maybe. Is he Vladimir Putin? I don't know. Maybe. Or is he Apollyon who's in the abyss? Is it possible that, and I'm theorizing, I'm just throwing stuff out. What if they interface with the ethereal realm and communicate with these fallen beings in the abyss? Because supposedly CERN is opening a portal and they are able to get a network connection from technological concepts to the abyss and allow Satan or Apollyon, the angel of the bottomless pit, to control humanity through a virtual network and with a virtual image of this false savior, this demon, this devil. I'm just throwing something out there. That's all. I don't know. But there's something similar to this going on, in my opinion. There's something going on. And we know that the technology that we received has come from the abyss. It has not come from humans. Humans did not create artificial intelligence. There ain't no way. You can't convince me that humans created AI. I'm not convinced. I don't think mankind's smart enough. Definitely, I don't think them people smart enough. I think it's angelic tech. But this is the dawning of the age of this global Luciferic order and the rise of Satan and the rise of the age of Aquarius, where humanity becomes a God with a lowercase g, but humanity, that's the selling point. Because God knows the day that you eat from the fruit, right? That's what he told him. That's what Satan told him, that you're going to be like God, knowing good and evil, right? No, you're going to be a slave, Neo, and you're going to burn in hell forever. It's a bit obvious to me. But there's this agenda to create the age of peace and this age of heightened evolution, where humanity controls his own evolutionary process by becoming a part of the global collective. And mankind is going to bring in a time of peace, according to them, because God has not come back yet to implement his kingdom, to implement his peace, to implement his 1,000-year reign. So mankind's going to circumvent and try to usurp God and rule over the assembly, all under the control of Satan. So the age of Aquarius is an age of peace and enlightenment and technological progress. The 2030 Agenda, Sustainable Development Goals. This is the age of Aquarius agenda. This is the age of Aquarius agenda. They call them sustainable development goals. Zero hunger, decent work and economic growth, sustainable cities and communities, 15-minute cities, life on land, climate action, industry, innovation, and infrastructure. There will be no innovation with AI. AI is going to control everything. AI is going to beat you to any new revelation or technological advancement. You can forget it. That's why they're going to hook you up or convince you to be a part of the collective. Responsible consumption and production, peace, justice, and strong institutions. Reduce inequality. Yeah, right. Like I told you, there's always going to be a hierarchy. Don't get it twisted. Don't let the Christians lie to you. There's always a hierarchy. Even in heaven, there's going to be a hierarchy. Israel going to rule over the other nations. There's going to be a hierarchy. Yeshua rules over everybody else. There's going to be a hierarchy. Don't get it twisted. But they say reduce inequalities. You can't reduce inequalities because the people who control the network, the people who control the system, the people who control the computers, they're going to always be over you. The people who control the blockchain, they're going to always be over you. Ain't going to be no reduced inequalities. There's going to be more inequalities. And if you don't do what I say, I'm going to shut you off the network. I'm going to shut you off the blockchain. I'm going to shut you out the banking system. I'm going to stop you from going to the store and buying food. There's always going to be inequalities. Don't get it twisted. Bible says the poor going to be with you what? Always. The Bible says the poor going to be with you always. Don't get it twisted. Believe the devil if you want. Good health and well-being. Yeah, good health and well-being. Under their control, can we say who? Come on now. Who are we talking about here? Global health and well-being. Can we say who? Like an owl? Who? I'm just saying. Life below water. No poverty. You believe that one? No poverty? Yeah, there's no poverty so long as you do what I say. Eat what I tell you to eat. Drink what I tell you to drink. Take the medicine I tell you to take. Take a dump when I tell you to take a dump. I'm just saying they're going to control every aspect of your life. No poverty so long as you do what I say. Clean water and sanitation, same thing. Affordable and clean energy. Gender equality. Quality education, yeah, their education, their conditioning, their world governmental system. Partnerships for the goals. You can become part of the NGOs. You can become part of the system that help control the system and everybody's new world order, global new age of Aquarius enlightenment, and everybody on the same talking points. And just like they control you today, that's fake news. They're going to control you during this time. Ain't nothing that you see on the news and ain't nothing you're going to see on the internet, nothing you're going to hear on the radio going to be true. It's all going to be controlled information. I told you what's coming is going to be worse than our ancestors' enslavement. At least our ancestors had a chance to fight back. At least our ancestors had a chance to run away. What's coming, you ain't going to be able to fight back. You ain't going to be able to run away. Why? Because they're going to be watching you every time you do something. They're going to see when you even thinking the thought. They're going to see when you feel like you're doing something and your adrenaline system shows a spike, and they're going to say, well, we saw on the monitor that you had a spike. Are you planning on doing something? Let us read your mind because you're part of the collective. Oh, we see you're trying to rebel. You know what? We're going to lock you up and put you in jail for a thought crime. You don't think it's that bad. I know. Y'all think I'm exaggerating. I know. I'm not talking to all of y'all. Y'all know what I'm talking about. You ain't got to believe it. Just sit. Just wait. Just wait a little longer. Just let time pass by. You'll see. Everything we've said so far has come to pass. Why not this? I'm just saying. So far, we batting 1,000. I'm just saying. You do you. Y'all go ahead. Y'all go look at people for hand signs and get upset because they're doing inadvertent hand signs and think they're part of the Freemason, when the true Freemasons are part of this whole sustainable development goals. Now, this is a document. I'm not going to read all of it. It's from the CIA.gov. Well, let me show you the page. 2030 spike, countdown of global catastrophe. 2030. There's that 2030 again. What's up with 2030, y'all? The drivers. This CIA.gov. The decade from 2030 will see a remarkable and dangerous confluence of world events and trends. A spike on the graph paper of life that will influence humanity for good or ill as never before. Combating the worst effects of this will require urgent action, informed by the clearest possible understanding of where we are now and where we might go. Such action could lead us to a saner, healthier, and safer society. The not too distant future could be one of unparalleled peace. Can we say Age of Aquarius? Prosperity? Can we say Age of Aquarius? And general well-being? Can we say Age of Aquarius? This is the dawning. The knowledge and resources for this are in place and can be seen not too far away. We have the best educated generation ever, wealth and potential wealth, though badly distributed, are at their highest and increasing. The automation of industry and agriculture promises almost universally high living standards. Not anymore once this system come in, because you're going to be on UBI. And an end to the almost universally high living standards and an end to the tyranny of heavy and tedious work. The world's population may stabilize, but only if the poverty afflicting most humans can be elevated. In other words, we're going to take from the rich and get to the poor. You'll never have a chance to become rich. Speaking in London in 2001, former American President Bill Clinton called for a truly global consciousness. There we go again. Global consciousness. Can we say the global brain? Can we say the global brain, family? I just want to know, can we say? Now, here's the thing. Give me a one if y'all still hear me, because I see it's still moving. Could look like it has stopped moving. So can we see here global consciousness again? That global consciousness, AI, integration of humanity and artificial intelligence. See, they're telling you all of this stuff. A truly global consciousness to spread the benefits of the 21st century around the world. We have the means to make the 21st century the most peaceful and prosperous in human history. The question is whether we have the will. That hope is unlikely to be realized by 2030, no matter what we do. But if effective social and economic reform can be started now, we could see a peaceful and productive transition to a what? New society shaped by and successfully adapted to the oncoming adverse influences, the 2030 drivers. Beyond that is a reasonable prospect of a world order better than the planet has ever seen. This is the dawning of the age of Aquarius. Or the near future could be bad enough to kill tens of millions of people in a variety of terrible ways, even plunge us into a global dark age and damage the very foundations of life, which could take centuries to repair. The harbingers of these disasters are already with us. As I write these words, an ugly and costly war is smoldering in the Middle East. 20 million people are facing starvation in Africa. Well, we know why that happened. Can we say France? A nuclear war has been narrowly averted on the Indian subcontinent, while the warnings of severe water shortages and ecological damage are becoming more urgent. So there is a clear need to choose to establish the courses of action that will contribute to one outcome or the other. And those informed choices will have to be made quickly. There's considerable evidence for the 2030 spike, the combined effect of at least 6 adverse drivers. The most reliable estimates set readily available oil resources at a little under 1 trillion barrels and world consumption at 28 billion barrels a year, indicating exhaustion in at most 34 years. Predicted increases in oil use would reduce this time substantially. This will have major and unexpected consequences, not least a significant cut in world food supplies for a population that will grow to 8 billion by that time. Are we not having reduction in food supplies? Are we not having issues with oil and having the resources that we were used to, right? So at the same time of this planned global utopia, there's also the coming calamity of WW3 and all of the chaos we see happening today, and the lack of resources, and the lack of food, the lack of clean water. All is happening now. Continued nuclear proliferation policy, changes in the use of atomic weapons in the United States and Russia, confrontation in the Middle East and South Asia, and political pressures from the drivers make a nuclear war of unpredictable intensity only too possible within 20 years. The consequences of this would seriously aggravate greenhouse effects due to become significant by 2030. The war against terror, the growing tensions between Islam and the West, the doctrine that nuclear weapons can safely be used in a limited way, all these will tend to aggravate the effects of the drivers. The International Water Management Institute predicts that 1 billion people will face an absolute water shortage by 2025. What's been happening in Louisiana with the salt water in the Mississippi? I'm just saying. The United Nations warns of war over use of the world's rivers by 2032. Problems of soil degradation, desert spread, and salination, already considerable, will be out of control by 2030 in much of the world. How did they know this? Unless these threats are recognized and effectively countered, we risk famine and deaths counted in the millions. Recent research into climate trends warn that severe global warming associated with carbon release from the Amazon rainforest and from methane hydrates in the Arctic is possible by 2030, with perhaps catastrophic effects by 2050. Even global warming and sea level rises on a much lesser scale would adversely affect agricultural land in developing countries. So y'all can read the rest if you want, but understand that the goal is to bring in this utopia after the fall, right? It's called order out of chaos for a reason. There's going to be chaos, and out of the chaos comes the order. Excuse me. Matthew 24, 3-31. And Yeshua was sitting on the Mount of Olives. The disciples came to him privately. Tell us, they said, when will this happen? And what will be the sign of the coming of the end of the age? I'm not going to read the whole thing. Y'all read this before. What will be the sign of your coming and the end of the age? Which age? What age are we talking about? Some translations say world, but age is aeon. So it's really, what shall be the sign of that coming in the end of the age? Could this, I'm just asking, I don't know. Right? I don't know. I mean, I'm just brought into this world with the limited information I have. But what shall be the sign of thy coming and the end of the age? Could this be why they have this age of Aquarius? The age, eon. Because Esau is the end of the world or age. Esau is the end of the world or the end of this age. Esau is the end of this age, and Jacob is the beginning of the age to follow. So could it be that 2030, I'm just asking the question, could it be that 2030 is the end of the Aquarian age? So they got to try to get this utopia done because they're running out of time. I told you, Negroes wake up and all hell breaks loose. Negroes say we Israelites and all hell breaks loose. Ain't no coincidence. Oh, we got to get this done. Satan knows he has a short time, right? Revelation 12. Satan knows he has a short time. The Bible says that there will be a fall of Babylon and the nations aligned with her. Go see my video, Follow the Gentile Powers. Could it be that they know they're running out of time? Doesn't it look like they're running out of time? Some of them are requesting that they fulfill a lot of the Sustainable Development Goals by 2025. They need to turn up the heat. They need to move faster to achieve the SDG goals. Doesn't it look like they're running out of time? It's like they got to get the paper written and into the teacher's office because they only got like an hour left. Maybe because we are at the end of the age and it's the end of Esau's reign. In the days of these 10 shall the God of heaven set up a kingdom that shall never end. Some people are going to listen and some people aren't. Some people are going to go into destruction and some people aren't. See, there's people who are trying to get you to reject the scriptures. Why? Because you will have no hope. You will have no promises. You will have no deliverance. You won't know what's happening and what's about to happen. You're going to be out in the wind by yourself without a tether. Ecclesiastes 7:27-29. Look, says the teacher, this is what I have discovered. Adding one thing to another to discover the scheme of things while I was still searching, but not finding. I found one upright man among 1,000, but not one upright woman among them all. This only have I found. God created mankind upright, but they have gone in search of many schemes. Some of y'all have gone in search for many schemes. Some of y'all are looking for technology. Some of y'all believe the concept of Star Trek. Some of y'all believe there's this evolutionary height of mankind to godhood. Some of you all have bought the lie and you're going to burn with them. You're going to burn with those who reject truth. I found one upright man out of 1,000. But not one upright woman among them all. Now, I'm not saying that, there's no upright women. Obviously, there are. But there's very few. See, everybody's being led astray. I told you, you wake up to be in Israel, there's a trap waiting for you. You wake up to Christianity being a false religion, there's another trap waiting for you. Somebody trying to lead you down the wrong path because you reject the scriptures, you reject the truth. Notice that in the last days, many shall depart from the faith, giving heed to seducing spirits and doctrines of devils, like the Bible ain't legit, that the promises to you and your ancestors ain't legit, that Yeshua is not legit, that the Old Testament and New Testament not legit. You got people who leaving you straight to hell. That's why I say this walk ain't easy. This walk ain't easy. You can easily be led off that narrow path. It's very narrow. Yeshua says, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father but by me. But yet, those who reject the scriptures reject Yeshua. You think you have eternal life, but this would testify of him. That Old Testament testify of him. He's all throughout the Old Testament. He's even in the book of Enoch if you read it, right? I'm just saying. Revelation 18:4, and in my final scripture. Then I heard another voice from heaven say, "Come out of her, my people, so that you will not share in her sins, so that you will not receive any of her plagues." I told y'all gonna flee. You're gonna be forced out. You're gonna have to leave because Babylon's under judgment. And part of that judgment is technology. Part of that judgment is 5G. Part of that judgment is artificial intelligence. Part of that judgment is that America has given its life and its rulership over to Satan. Let's not even forget the obvious judgments of plagues, wars, rumors of wars, earthquakes, dried up rivers. It amazes me that people don't see what's happening. Very few, let's put it that way. Very few people see what's happening. And some people don't even care. And I'm looking at this stuff and I'm like, Most High, how are we going to make it out this thing alive? Well, you got to have faith. I understand that. But some of the scripture says, if you make it past the sword. So some things are just by divine authority and the will of the Most High. Now, I do believe the righteous is going to make it out. I believe that. I'm going to believe it till my grave. I'm going to believe the righteous is going to make it out. The Most High going to get us out. But from what I'm seeing, this thing is awful. And everything I'm seeing and everything I've showed today, they're pursuing. And very few people telling you the truth about it. And very few people I see waking up. It don't matter if you know you Israel and you ain't living holy. It don't matter if you say you Israel and you reject Yeshua. Yeshua, all that matters. Righteous living is all that matters. Well, how do I know how to live righteous? It's called his laws, statutes, and commandments. For his word is a light unto my path. I would not have known thou shalt not steal unless somebody told me it was wrong. The law. I wouldn't have known thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife unless somebody told me it was wrong. The law. We got a connection in this thing of obedience to the words of the Most High. Here's the sum of the matter. Fear Yah and keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty of man. Period with a T. There's a lot of things happening today in the news with Israel, them people, that place. It's not as important on the prophetic timeline, in my opinion, other than the fact that a lot of people might either be deceived or as part of the global deception to say that they were invaded, they were attacked by Gog and Magog or something like that, and Israel survived and God saved them. So now we go into the Ewok scenario of holding hands and singing Kumbaya. I don't believe there's going to be a third temple. I mean, I do believe after we go back to the land, there will be one. There will be a third temple once we go back. But there ain't going to be no third temple in that desert. That's Eurocentric fantasy. See, they're going to have y'all looking at the Middle East. Ooh, look, the Euphrates River dried up. See, that's prophecy. That ain't the real Euphrates. I told y'all that. Showed you the book where they say that Niger was the real Euphrates. I'm just saying, you believe what you want. Keep looking at the Middle East and looking at the wrong people. And some of y'all know who the people are because you the people, but you still looking at that dirty land. Don't make no sense to me. You're gonna miss all the prophecies happening because you're looking at that land in the Middle East. Because y'all been brainwashed by them Eurocentric Christians. Waiting for everything to happen in the Middle East and the Euphrates River drying up over there in the Middle East, and y'all missing the whole point of what's happening on the continent. And I'm just saying, ain't my business. You believe what you want. One thing for sure, it would have been nice having Pastor Darby here, get his take on these times. But he did his work. He with the Most High. But like I said, you don't believe it, you ain't got to. Just sit and wait. That's like I said. Like we were on them other channels that time back in the day when we were debating. Just sit and wait. Just sit and wait. You didn't believe we were the people? Sit and wait. But guess what? You know what was funny? It was funny that way back then, they were saying we not the people. Black folks weren't Jews. Now all of a sudden, there are many colors. They got black Jews, white Jews, yellow Jews, green Jews. But remember, back in the early days, we weren't the people. Ain't no black Jews. Ain't none of them was over there in West Africa. Y'all remember them arguments. They're not saying that today. That's why I say, sit and wait. They don't admit they're wrong now. We still a bunch of deceived people, according to them. But you notice they don't say there ain't no black Jews no more. I noticed a bunch of people today, too, who claim to be Israel or used to be Israel. You notice they don't emphasize Israel no more. You know they don't emphasize we the people no more. You know they emphasize in other things like exposing people and all that kind of stuff. I'm just saying. You notice a lot of people tunes are changing the closer we get to getting out of here. I'm going to tell you this. If that word ain't true, we all in trouble. But I know it's true. Because we are slaves. We are descendants of slaves who had a heritage stolen, who stole our identities, stole our ancestors, our life, our wealth, our land. Can these bones live? Because they dead. They look dead to me. These Negroes look dead. They don't even know who they are. They think they black. They think they African Americans. They don't know where they come from. But you gonna put them pieces back together again? Without the Most High, we were done. Stick a fork in us. Satan won. The Luciferians, the Romans, they won. We'll never unite. Negroes can never unite on nothing. Can't never come together. And they married them folks as well. They having babies with them. They then lost their heritage and their identity. I ain't hating on you if you did. I'm just saying we got messed over. I remember when I was growing up, there were black barbecues, black parties, black this, black that, black skate country stuff. Nothing but black folks. Not no more. It's mixed folks now. I ain't hating on you. I'm just saying they didn't stole our identity that we did have. Black folks, descendants of slaves. We had to unite against oppression. We had to unite against separation. We had to unite against segregation. Nah, we're going to let y'all in now. Now we didn't stole even that little unity that y'all did have. Now when you go to skate country or go skating, guess what? Is everybody mixed? There used to be a black hangout. Everybody mixed now. Used to be black barbecues, nothing but black folks for all days for that you see. Now it's mixed everybody. I'm not hating on you if you married to them folks. I'm just saying it didn't stole everything. You ain't got an identity. You ain't got a heritage. You ain't a Negro. You ain't black. You ain't Israelite. You ain't African. Some of y'all don't identify as nothing. That's called conquest. That is called subjugation. That is called a stolen identity. But ain't no more Jew, Greek, slave free. God don't look at skin color. Yeah, but God looks at a nation. God looks at a nation. That's the Hittites. That's the Perizzites. That's the Girgashites. That's the Israelites. That's the Edomites. God look at nations. Well, people then told you he don't care no more. He don't care if you black. He don't care if you white. Yeah, but you just happen to be part of a nation, and that nation's black folks. That don't matter no more. Black folks who have a common ancestry, a common history, a common oppression, a common persecution, a common discrimination by them folks. It don't matter no more. Ain't no more Jew, Greek. But yeah, they sure recognize when we getting discriminated against. They can recognize us when they want to sell us that car or deny us that loan or shoot us in that street. We black then, but ain't no more black, ain't no more Jew, Greek. But we sure black when they discriminate against us in them streets. I'm just saying, somebody make it make sense. See, we got stuff in common and we got something that we can identify. And guess what? It's called persecution. You know what? You know what else common? Them curses. That Deuteronomy 28 curses. Don't let nobody fool you. We got a common oppression, a common persecution. But guess what? They don't want you to worry about that no more. Y'all racist. You know that? Yacoba racist. Y'all racist. You know why they don't want you to be common no more? I have a common identity and a common persecution. Because guess what? Black folks with an identity of black folks and a common oppressor, they're not joining the New World Order. Black folks who've been discriminated against ain't joining the New World Order. Black folks who denied loans, they ain't joining the New World Order. Black folks who get shot in the street, they ain't joining the New World Order. They're not going to join the Age of Aquarius. Why? Because it's run by them folk. It's run by your oppressor. They don't control all the land, all of the food, all of the water, all of the money, all of the buildings. And guess what? You're going to be like, we all just one people. We're Americans. We're world citizens. But guess what? You're the only one being discriminated against like that. Ain't nobody fighting for you to be free. Ain't nobody fighting for you to get reparations. But guess what? We all the same. No, we not. We not the same. We're not all getting shot in the streets. We're not all being denied loans. We're not all being red lines. It's just them folks. It's you folks. I'm sorry. You folks. Them Negroes. That's who's suffering them curses. Them curses going to identify you forever. That's a common thing we got. And guess what? We happen to be black with woolly hair. I'm just saying, don't let nobody deceive you. We ain't the same. We don't suffer the same. That's why they got to make us think that we are the same, so we could become part of the utopia, so we can become part of the melting pot, so we can go ahead and join the global age of Aquarius, so we can just merge into the collective consciousness. It's not going to happen for most black folks, the ones who ain't sell out. It ain't going to happen. The ones who still identify as Negroes and blacks and persecuted and descendants of slaves, nah, they ain't joining that thing. They're going to say, look who's running it. It's the same people who persecuted us. Look who's running the age of Aquarius or the United Nations or the World Economic Forum. It ain't us. I'm not joining that. See, they want you to think you integrated, and they want you to think you part of their system, and they want you to think you're going to have freedom. No, you're not. You're going to still be enslaved. You're going to still be discriminated against. They still ain't going to give you no loans, and they're going to tell you to take their lollipops. Oh, well, little Bobby over there, he don't have to take a lollipop. It's only you Negroes now, because the government says you have to, and you are part of the global collective consciousness now. But they still gonna discriminate against you. I'm just saying. I didn't went off on a tangent, but I do know this. The Most High is your only way out. The Most High, loving him and loving your people is the only way out. Them laws, statutes, and commandments were to Israel. It wasn't to the Gentiles. Go read Acts chapter 21. Go see where they said, well, look, these laws were only for us. We Negroes, we Israelites, we Jews. The Gentiles only have to obey these two commands. Go read it for yourself. I didn't came but for the lost sheep of the house of Israel. I'm not saying Gentiles can't be saved. I'm just saying that when Yeshua came, he came but for the lost sheep of the house of Israel. He didn't come for the world. The Bible says, by their fall has salvation come to the Gentiles. Our fall became your salvation, which shall be our restoration, but life from the dead. That's Bible. See me, I'm tired of people lying. I'm tired of people deceiving people and misleading them and making them think everything is kumbaya when y'all know everything ain't kumbaya. Y'all know we all suffering. Y'all know black folks going through the same stuff except for the traders at the top. The traders at the top got enough money to avoid some of the stuff. That don't mean they don't suffer some of them curses. But look, if y'all like what we do, and you know, I'm sure some of y'all don't like me now after that. But you know, you go ahead and support us, become a Patreon member. Patreon.com/TEOTW or Cash App $TEOTW 7101. And also you can go to giftgivingforall.com and buy your hoodies, your t-shirts, and the like. I'ma just say it like this. And the reason why I went through that rant is because what's happening is happening on the whole world. But what's happening on the whole world is because you woke up. That's why I went on that rant. What's happening is happening on the whole world, but it's because you woke up. And you are the target of this world government. You are the target of this global system. You are the target. It ain't about love and peace and harmony and equality of resources and food and wealth. No, it's about stealing your wealth and stealing your control so that they can continue to make money off of your tap dancing and your singing and your comedy and all of this stuff, your skills. It's so they can tap you and continue to control you so that they don't have to conquer through military means the continent of Africa and take their gold and their silver and their bauxite and their oil and their animals and the water. No, this global world governmental system is being built so that they can take over your resources on a continent, right? So you can be a dumb bunny, them leaders over there on the continent, and some of you raccoons on the continent, and give your wealth over to them folks. You're going to give your wealth to the United Nations. You're going to give your wealth to the WEF. You're going to give your wealth to the global age of Aquarius, the collective consciousness. This is why they're doing all this stuff. This is why they're dealing with all of the changes in the world and the environment, because they want to take all your resources without firing a shot. They don't want to have to go drop a nuke on that land because they need that land. So how do they do it? They force you to become a part of the collective and become a part of the system, and you will never own a thing, and you will be a perpetual slave. The only difference is now them folks gonna be slaves with you. That's all. See, this is the problem I have, is that I see all of this stuff, right? I see all of the plans. I see all of the traps they got set for us. I see all of this stuff happening. And I'm like, our people just sit there twiddling their thumbs, not knowing that our very lives and the lives of our family and kids and children are in dire straits. And right now, I'm not really talking to the Israelites. I'm talking to the Christian blacks, the Christian Israelites, the ones who still asleep, the ones who still think ain't no more Jew, Greek, slave free, the ones who still think that them people care about you. Them people don't care about you. It don't matter that Jesus black. It just matters that he died for our sins. Yeah, it does matter that he died for our sins, but it matters that he's black too. You know why? Because it's true. Truth matters. But see, if God look like you, then that means you're special. You can't be more special than me because I'm not melanated. See, you could be equal with me, or I can be above you, but you can't be his chosen. That don't matter no more, because God don't have no more chosen people. He don't care about y'all no more. He don't care that y'all went into slavery. He don't care that your ancestors died and was hung from trees. He don't care about it. But I know the word says that he gonna judge the nations for what they did to his people. But God don't care about his word no more. God don't care about Job chapter 3 no more. I know he said he gonna destroy the nations because they sold a girl for wine. Sold a boy for a harlot. God don't care about that no more. He not gonna judge us. He not gonna judge our ancestors. See, the problem is because we fall for their lies, we get caught in the judgments. Because we care, we fall for their lies. All of this stuff happened to not only them, but to us as well. I know that a lot of people don't believe the scriptures because the scripture says one thing and people believe another. Gentiles don't believe the scriptures because the Bible says they're going to be judged. But why I got to be judged for what my ancestors did? I ain't do nothing. But Isaiah 14:21 says, prepare a place to slaughter his children for the sins of their ancestors. They're not to rise to inherit the land and cover the earth with their cities. I didn't write it. God wrote it. You believe the Bible? Oh, he don't mean that. That don't matter no more because we Christians now. But he said, prepare a place to slaughter his children for the sins of his ancestors. Oh, that don't mean what you say. That don't matter no more. See, everybody been lied to. Everybody's been manipulated. And it's time to wake up, both Jew and Gentile. You're not going to get away for the sins of your ancestors, just like we didn't get away for the sins of our ancestors. We went into captivity because of the sins of our ancestors. Same with y'all. God is no respecter of person. Y'all say that all the time. Somebody got to tell the truth. Well, you're making it about race, Jacoba. No, it just happens to be about race. If black folks were enslaved by palm-colored folks, then how is it my fault when I say the black folks are God's chosen and the ones who persecuted them were the palm-colored folks? How am I at fault and how am I being racial for telling the truth? And if it is the palm-colored folks who did it and God said he's going to judge them for the sins of their ancestors, how am I a racist because I tell you what the Bible says? See, this is why we in the mess right now, because y'all don't know what y'all did. Y'all not repenting for it because you don't believe the Bible. We ain't got to go into the age of Aquarius. If y'all repent and we go home, we get our reparations and y'all attach to us and come along with us. Now, some of the Israelites against that. Be honest with you, I'm not looking for some of y'all to come with me either. But I'm like, okay, let the Most High will be done. It ain't my business. It ain't my business. I'm here to do the will of the Father. And guess what? How many people telling you the truth? How many palm-colored folks telling y'all the truth? How many Negroes telling y'all the truth? Not many. Somebody got to tell the truth. There's not much truth out there no more. A lot of people lying. A lot of people twisting. A lot of people telling half-truths. A lot of people being deceived into different religions and doctrines and sealed portions and Indians in America and foolishness. If y'all want to get out this thing, you got to tell the truth, even if it hurts. If the word hurts, tell the truth anyway. If it hits you, tell the truth anyway. It's the only way out. You can't get out by telling lies. You can't get out by telling half-truths. Something major coming. And a lot of people are going to be deleted. You sense it. Let me ask this. I'm curious. I didn't go on off tangent, but I'm curious. How many of y'all out here, give me a one. If you sense something major, deadly is on the way, give me a two if you don't sense nothing at all. See, Israel sensed it. I think some of you Gentiles know it. Y'all just don't know that y'all under judgment. Just like we didn't know we were under judgment. And when they ask you, why, Lord, all this judgment on us? And the Most High says what? Tell them it's because their ancestors what? Sinned against me. So when the Gentiles ask, why, Lord, all this judgment on us? Because your ancestors sinned against him. I guess the Most High want me to talk about this because I should have hung up already. Because I think a lot of people ain't going to be here soon. I'm telling you, I sense it. And y'all can't say ain't nobody warned you. And you ain't gonna know why you going through and why you suffering and why the world is against you and why you hungry and why you can't get no clean water. Because the sins of your ancestors. And some of y'all direct sins. Go read Job chapter 3 again and see what he's talking about. Who you think that is? Them folks in the Middle East? Come on, Gentiles. Go read Job chapter 3 and tell me who the Most High talking about there. Who did y'all mess with? Who did y'all put into captivity and sold a girl for wine? Made a boy a harlot. I'm just asking. Who else? Let's stop lying. You know them scriptures only point to you all persecuting us. Come on. Are your ancestors persecuting us? Let's be honest. Y'all know Deuteronomy 28 don't match nobody else but the Negro. Come on, let's be honest. Stop putting your head in the sand. It ain't going to go away. The judgment ain't going to turn away. The judgment is set. And these people then built a prison for the world. And they're going to make it look like utopia. And y'all going to happily walk into it with your chip implant and your brain implants. Y'all going to happily walk into their utopia of hell. And this is why so many people attack this ministry, because we tell the truth and they don't like it. They don't like the fact that their half-truths and their lies are going to be judged. They don't like the fact that their gaslighting is going to be judged. They don't like the fact that their accusations are going to be judged. God does not play. That's who y'all call him. He does not play. You knew I was an austere man, that I reap where I have not sown. Keep playing if you want. I'm done. Peace and blessings, Israel. Your captivity is ending. Love you with the beloved Messiah. If you want to support it, please become a Patreon member, or you could give Cash App or give a like. If you haven't liked, go ahead and give a like. Share this video. And you know what? Pray for this world. Pray for Israel, because this world is screwed.